Hello everyone, welcome to The Lit Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Fee. This is my video reflecting on 2022 and setting new goals, new challenges for 2023. I have to ask myself, what did I accomplish in 2022 when it comes to reading, writing, BookTube, AuthorTube, HorrorTube? I am happy to say I feel like I accomplished a lot, and I can put some screenshots and old thumbnails and such up on the screen, share some memories, interacting with the community, all that good stuff while I'm talking. One of the goals that I had for 2022 was to finish reading all the published works of William Shakespeare, and I can check that off. Mission accomplished. It was a lot of work. It really was. Luckily, I spent a lot of my life studying literature. I was an English major, went on to take extra graduate hours in English credits. I've been assigned a lot of Shakespearean plays to study, and then once I became a teacher, I took to the task of teaching my own students a lot of different plays. I'd already taken care of probably about half the plays, and it was just a matter of, in 2021 and 2022, getting to the rest of them. But I'm glad that I did. There are so many great plays by Shakespeare. Another goal that I had was to make progress on my desire to read every book by Stephen King. I was inspired by other booktubers, people like A.J. Dunn reads and writes, David Wiley, Michael K. Vaughan. I'm sure there are plenty of others who put challenges like this, read every book by a certain author. Now, as I recall, some of those people did little spins. They put different names of different authors on wheels. They spun the wheels. I know A.J. Dunn reads and writes and Michael K. Vaughan both are actively still trying to read every book by Stephen King. Different people have different rules for this challenge. I do not have very many rules. I personally don't implement those rules. I'm not worried about reading them in a certain order. It doesn't bother me whether it's a collaboration with someone else. I'm just happy to read the works of Stephen King. They're good. A lot of his works have also been turned into films, and I enjoy studying adaptations. I enjoy looking at the nuances, the changes from it being a written story to being turned into a film. I will continue with that challenge this year, so going to go ahead and add a challenge for 2023, continuing to try to read every book by Stephen King. This challenge does not have a deadline because I don't want to force it if I'm not in the mood to read those books by Stephen King. And there are a lot of them, and he just keeps writing more. Another reading challenge that I've had is updating my most read authors video every year. I did authors I've read the most books by, which turned into most read authors. It's been a lot of fun listening to other people make those videos as well, and it's fun to update it, to see how it changes from year to year, to find out which author I've read the most books by. That will probably be updated again in the summer. I'm thinking somewhere around the 4th of July or so, or August at the latest, is a good time to update that every year. The summer's a great time for me to read as a teacher on summer break. So that will continue in 2023. As far as my writing goes, I have been very happy with my writing. I've had short stories published in 2020 and 2021. My goal was simply to get another story out there, to get it published somewhere in something, so I am proud to have done that. I also started work as an editor of a fantasy anthology. It is called Half Human Heroes, and it will be coming out this year in 2023. I sent out a call for submissions, invited a bunch of people from BookTube, AuthorTube to send me their stories. And that submission deadline was January 15. And I am proud to say I have a bunch of stories from people, and I am ready to read over them, announce who will be in the collection here soon. I gave myself the deadline of February 15th to make that announcement. You never know, it could come earlier if I get it done earlier. And then the book is scheduled to come out May 15th, which will give us time to do all the proper checking of everything for me to start sending out some early copies to some people. Hopefully get some nice responses for that as we ramp up for the release. I've also got drafts that I've been working on for my own collection of horror short stories called Son of a Horror Anthology. And while I don't really have it complete, I have been working on a fantasy series as well, with the first novel in that series, which tentatively I have the title of Apocalypse Army. I'm hoping to get more work done on that, but that has probably been pushed back to the summer because of how busy that I am. But I think those are good goals. Continue working on my writing in 2023, continue with trying to get published more, and build that up. I'm just delighted. I am honored that people are reading my work. What is really amazing is the community here online where people are posting YouTube videos about my writing. People are reading my poetry online. People are discussing it on social media, Instagram, Twitter, all that fun stuff. So thank you to everyone out there for your support. I appreciate your continued support. If you want to help me out even more, I can always use more reviews posted on Amazon and posted on Goodreads, but no pressure, of course. I think those were some exciting goals. I know sometimes people have goals as far as numbers of views or subscriber counts or that sort of stuff. I don't really worry about that. My main idea here on BookTube, AuthorTube, HorrorTube is that I like to interact with the community. What makes me happy is seeing that people are leaving comments and giving me a chance to authentically interact with them. I like that interaction. To me, that is worth way more than a view count or a subscriber count. Though, as always, it is nice for you to click that like button and make sure you are subscribed and all that good stuff. Looking at 2023, in addition to what I just went over, some of the changes, goals, challenges that I'm looking at are possibly changing my monthly book battles to where they are genre wars. I think that'll be a lot of fun. Branding it as I am going to reflect on the different genres I'm reading, because I'm such an eclectic person, an eclectic reader and writer. It would be fun just to see, food for thought, and maybe analyze which genres have books that are winning more often in my monthly best reading wrap-up book battles. So look forward to me calling the book battles genre wars, organizing the books in order by those genres, and then perhaps providing the numbers throughout the year, how many books have won from each genre. Keeping track of that. Another goal that I had last year that I didn't mention just now was I have been trying to read more books by authors that I love, and I have been trying to continue and finish series that I have started in the past. I did a great job with that in 2022. I finished a ton of series. Just off the top of my head, I finally finished The Wheel of Time. I got through the Expanse series. I got caught up on the Dresden Files, which granted, I had to take that into earlier this month to get finished with those, but I am now caught up. And then there were a bunch of other things like Song of Ice and Fire, the Game of Thrones series that I'd wanted to read for years and I finally got to it. Some quirky things that I wasn't necessarily expecting to read, but I did, like the books by Bret Easton Ellis that have characters that appear across the series. It's loosely a series, not really a series, but interconnected. And because I wanted to read more books by Alan Dean Foster, an author that I love, I ended up finishing up the Spellsinger series. That one was just goofy and silly, probably not worth the time. I got caught up on Anne Rice's vampire novels and read the Witch series that ties in with the vampire novels, connecting all of that together. It's been a lot, and I've really enjoyed it. Hopefully, I will continue to do more of that this year. Look back at series that I need to finish. Some of them, it's just because the darn authors have not released the books yet, like the Red Rising series. Pierce Brown has the next 2 books coming out in that should finish that series. There's no telling when Patrick Rothfuss will finish his series, and the same with George R.R. Martin. I mean, I'm caught up with Song of Ice and Fire, but will we ever get the rest of the series in book form? Who knows? If they come out this year, though, I will try to get to them. One of my favorite authors now is John Gwynne. He's got plenty of books that I haven't read because I've read his latest series, but I haven't read his previous 2. I believe those 2 link together. They're sitting in a big old pile. I need to get to them at some point. I've got a bunch of other books just sitting around. Ebooks, audiobooks, those huge piles that I took off my bookshelves. I've been reorganizing them. What I am thinking about doing is taking the books that I have not read yet, the physical books, and putting them back on the shelves, but not putting on my shelves the books that I've already read. Just leaving those sitting in a pile in the closet or something, or boxing them up, or bringing them to my classroom, or selling selling them or giving them away because I have gone more and more to ebooks and audiobooks and realized my physical books have been taking up a lot of space for a long time, and it's probably too much space being taken up. But that brings me to something I mentioned in a recent YouTube video, which is that I have accepted the Read What You Own challenge created by CriminOlly and adapted by Michael K. Vaughan and other people, where you can kind of add your own rules and change it up. I'm starting with 25 books. I have to read 25 books before I can buy a new one. If that is not too painful, I will up it to 50. If I get to 50 and I'm still feeling good about it, I will increase it to 100. When I get to the 100, I should just celebrate and stop. But Michael K. Vaughan and several other people, David Wiley, Sterling Reads, another Bibliophile Reads, a bunch of other people, they are trying to do a 500 book challenge where they are planning to not buy another book until they get to 500. If you will watch my previous video about it, you'll see there are some rules in there. There are some exceptions that makes it survivable. So I will consider upping it to 500 books, but I'm not going to promise that. I'm having some commitment issues with that right now because while it would be nice to save money by not buying a bunch of physical books or even new ebooks and audiobooks, it's tough. I mean, the fear of missing out is very strong. Those are all the challenges and goals that I can think of right now for this video. I hope that you've enjoyed hearing this discussion. Leave your comments down below. What challenges, goals do you have? What thoughts do you have for me? Every day is a good day for a book talk or discussing reading challenges and goals. Peace.